This video will take you through the graphs of the functions that are important for grade 12 advanced function class. I'm going to show you the basic functions. We'll start with the simple one, f of x equals x. Now first of all, to graph a function, make sure you have with you a ruler, some grid paper, pencil, and a calculator if needed. If you're not sure what a function looks like, then it sometimes helps to make a small table of values. We start by picking some x values that would be useful. Always pick a few negative values, 0, and a few positive values. And our function is y, which is the same as f of x, if you remember from grade 11 function notation. Now in this case, we substitute the value of x where x is in the equation. So f at -2 would be equal to -2. F at -1 equals -1. F at 0 is 0. F at 1 is 1. F at 2 is 2. So this function, when we plot it, all of those points line up and form a line that goes through the origin. Whenever we graph a function that is a line, we should always use a ruler just to make it nice and tidy. So there we go. First one, f of x equals x. Okay, now this is the basic function or the parent function of a line. If you recall from grade 9, you learned y equals mx plus b can be used to represent any linear function, and m is the slope, b is the y-intercept. So if you're graphing any line other than the parent one, you can use the slope y-intercept method of graphing. The next one I want to show you is f of x equals x squared. So again, if you're not sure of what this looks like, we can choose some values for our table. Again, a couple negative. I'm going to go -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3. And we substitute each value into the function. So here for the first one, for example, I'll show you the work, would be -3 squared, -2 squared, -1 squared, etc. So -3 squared is -3 times -3, which is 9. This one is 4. 0 squared is 0, 1 squared is 1, 2 squared is 4, 3 squared is 9. And then we plot as many of these points onto the grid as we can. So -3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Look, it fits. Thank goodness. -2 is 4. It's going to look like this. Now, for this one, we don't want to use a ruler. We want to plot a curve that connects the points together. Make it as smooth as you can. And do you remember what this function is called? It starts with a P and ends with an abola. It is a parabola, which is a quadratic function. Okay, and that's our basic quadratic function. In grade 10, you would have started to learn about these, and you would have also learned about some transformations. This would be the function that could be used to describe any quadratic function in vertex form. Now here's one you might not have seen before, and this is f of x equals x cubed. This is called a cubic function. And again, to see its shape, we can just simply do a little table of values. I'm going to use the same one as I did above for the quadratic. So this is for x cubed. So now I'm going to cube each x value, which means to multiply the number by itself 3 times. So this would be -3 times -3 times -3, which is -27. -2 cubed is -8. -1 cubed is -1. 0 times 0 times 0, of course it's still 0. Now we get 1, 8 and 27 when we substitute those values in. Some of these numbers are going to be just too big for me to fit on the y-axis because I don't have a very big range here, but I'm going to plot these values here just to get an idea of the shape of the function. So negative 2, 8. Oops, I'm sorry, that is wrong. Negative 2, negative 8. Negative 1, negative 1. 0, 0. 1, 1, 2, 8. And it's going to be a nice smooth curve, again, connecting these points. You can see it's a little bit steeper than the parabola. It gets quite steep there. And to plot 327, that would be way up there, way out of range, so we wouldn't be able to see that. Okay, so this is a cubic function. Now we're going to continue